Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today I'm going to tie, I just was thinking this one up, just designed this one, and this is going to be a garbage bag X-Caddis. The hook that I have in the vise is just a standard dry fly hook, just happens to be a Mustad. And this is a size 16, and I've been getting reports of there being a nice caddis hatch. So I'm going to give this a try. I'm actually going out later today, and we'll see if I can get some on it. I'll make sure I film it. But the thread I'm going to use, I'm going to use this tan thread, and this is just 70 denier. We're going to start that behind the eye, and we're going to bring that back to where it would hang at the barb of the hook. Get that quickly back there. Keep that at that 45-degree angle. Go ahead and break that off. We're going to start out with the shuck portion. And this kind of looks a little white, but it's actually a tan. It's a light tan. We're going to take a small amount of that. Here's one strand. I'm going to take about half of that strand. I'm going to just cut that whole strand off. And this is Z-Lon. You don't necessarily need Z-Lon itself. You can use the Bootlace. Here's a bag of the Bootlace, and that's the two-colored Bootlace. You just take them apart, and that's what you get. But you want something that's like a tan, with just a little tint of tan. And I'm going to take about half of that. And sometimes you ruin the other half. And you don't want these to be, you don't want them to be lined up, having them scraggly like that, but you don't want any real long. We're going to make that tail, or the shuck, we want that to be no more than the length of the hook, maybe even smaller, 3/4 maybe. We're going to go ahead and put that on. And I'm going to leave this here for now. I'm going to go ahead and wind that all the way up. Sometimes putting a little moisture in it and giving it a twist helps you control it. Now this, you can tie this, in different colors to match the hatch that's going to be coming off. To make it really buggy though, you go ahead and use Hare's ear. That's going to make it really buggy looking. That wild one off there. Yeah, I'm going to grab a dark colored Hare's ear for this one. We're going to give this a dark body. This, I believe, is just cottontail that was shaved and chopped. And I got this from Joe Corey. I believe he sells this, so you can check that out. Google his name, I'm sure you'll find it. I'm putting this on pretty thin, but the Hare's ear, Joe likes to say, you can't put enough of it on. The wilder it gets, the better it works. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this. You got that nice scraggly-ish body there. And we're going to come up to about one length from the eye of the hook. Now I left that Z-Lon on there what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring that up a little bit further, and then I'm going to fold that back. You can get that nice and tight. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of that there, but I'm going to trim that off. We don't want it too long. All I really want is a little tuft of it in order to help hold up the wing. Okay, now for the wing, grocery bag, a tan grocery bag. And here I have a strip of it, and that's a little bit too fat for the size 16. What I'm going to do is just pull it. I'm going to start on the end here, and it does create static, so you just pull that. And the nice thing about tan grocery bag or the garbage bag is you basically have an unlimited supply just by going to the store. But the trick is to find the store with a tan bag. Now I'm going to take that and I'm going to give it a bow tie. Just spin that a couple of times. And that's going to be our tie-in point. And you can flatten that out over the top. And you can see that that Z-Lon underneath is helping to hold it up. Go ahead and trim that off. Now, in order to make the wing, that caddis wing, take that and fold it down. So you're folding it in half. Then we're going to take that and we're going to give that, cut that at an angle. Okay, and there's our caddis wing. Very simple fly. Like I said, you can tie this if you want an olive one. You can tie that with olive. Now we're going to put some legs on there, and I'm going to use a ginger or brown grizzly hackle. You can use a straight ginger. This was the best size hackle that I had. That's why I'm using the grizzly. But a nice ginger hackle will work. We're going to trim that, and then we're going to give it the haircut. You can see the bristles at a 90 degree. Then give it that crew cut. I'm going to tie this in with the concave side to the shaft, to the shank. And we're just going to give this a few wraps. Yeah, 3 is plenty. That's going to help hold it up, but it's going to give you the illusion of the legs. I'm going to go ahead and tie that in. This is a saddle hackle, very long. If I was tying these, I'd probably get at least a dozen of these flies out of that one hackle. Probably even more. And that's the advantage of buying a good saddle hackle. Maybe a little more expensive, but you can get a lot of flies out of them. Now we're going to just wrap that head. Got a couple wild ones facing forward. I'm going to take my 1/2 inch tool. Push those back. Get them away from that eye there. Once, twice. go. I pretty much got that head shaped already. I'm going to keep that, although it's being held up, you still want to get it flat over the body almost. Take my whip finish and give it a few turns. Take my poke and snip cuticle trimmer. Trim that off nice and close. Put a little bit of head cement on there. You don't even have to get all the way around. As long as you got a little bit of head cement on there, it's going to hold that knot. I'm looking for a feather. Here we go. Take a scrap feather that's laying on your table. Everybody's got one of those. Put that through the eye and it will clean it out. And here we have a garbage bag X-Caddis. You could go ahead and trim the bottom, and that'll leave them more flush in the water. Just take it and trim that nice and flat. That's going to lay nice and flush in the water. And I tell you, because the time of year it's cold, these caddis aren't going to get off the water as quickly as they would in the summertime, so they're going to be stuck in that film for some time, and that is going to catch them. And I hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. Please visit my sponsors. If you'd like to purchase any of these flies for me, go to my Etsy page at etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And most of all, I thank you very much for watching my videos.